Chosen one. Listen closely. The moment has arrived when the hidden things are no longer hidden, when what was locked away in silence is now spoken with clarity. This is not random. This is not a coincidence. Heaven has aligned this hour for you to hear. You passed. Think of the journey behind you. Silent prayers whispered at night. Tears falling where no one could see. The world thought you were ordinary, but heaven knew you were set apart. Every season of waiting, every disappointment, every rejection, it was never wasted. You were not being overlooked, you were being prepared. Like a seed pressed into the earth. You were buried in darkness. The soil was heavy. The silence was long. And no one applauded your endurance. Yet the seed was never dead. Life was stirring beneath the surface. Pressure and time forced the husk to break. And in the appointed moment, the green shoot pressed upward, breaking through the crust. That is your story. Your seed season is over. Your breaking through season begins now. Questions haunted you. Why this path? Why the silence? Why me? But those questions were not weakness. They were evidence of your pursuit of meaning. And today, heaven answers. Your trials were not punishment. They were training. The waiting was not a prison. It was a passage. You endured what others could not. And now the announcement rings out. You passed. It is recorded in the first book of Kings, chapter 8, verse 57. May the Lord our God be with us. As he was with our ancestors, may he never leave us, nor forsake us. You see, you were never walking alone. In every valley, in every storm, in every lonely corridor, there was a presence standing beside you. The silence was not abandonment, it was protection. You were guarded, shielded, and shaped for this very hour. Let me tell you a story. There was once a young man hidden in obscurity. He worked quietly, day after day. Never seen, never celebrated. People mocked him, told him his prayers were useless, his dreams unrealistic. Yet he remained faithful. He was like a lamp burning in a storm, flickering yet unextinguished. Years passed with no change until suddenly, doors he never imagined opened. He realized that the hidden years were not wasted years. They were sacred years of preparation. That story is not just his. It is yours. Chosen one. Your scars are not shame. They are proof of survival. The fire you endured did not destroy you. It refined you. You carry resilience others cannot explain, because it was forged in silence. And now, your unveiling is at hand. The curtain has been pulled back. Heaven is ready to reveal what it has been preparing in secret. This revelation is not casual. It requires your decision. When heaven opens the curtain, you cannot shrink back. This is your hour to step forward, not in arrogance, but in obedience, not for your glory, but for His. If your heart is stirring as you hear this, do not ignore it. Let it rise to the surface. Right now, as a prophetic act, write the number 72 inches, the comments. It is more than a number. It is a declaration that you receive what heaven is releasing, that you accept the unveiling of your destiny. Do not keep this to yourself. Share the light. Invite others to step into what you are stepping into. Subscribe. Connect. Stay aligned with the flow of these words. Because this is not a one-time message. This is a journey. and you are meant to walk it with others, chosen like you. You have come through storms no one knows, carried a flame through winds that tried to smother it. And now, your light will not remain hidden. You are the lamp lifted high, the lighthouse guiding others through the dark sea. What was secret will be declared. What was hidden will be revealed. Chosen one. You passed the test, and now it is time to reveal everything. Chosen one. Pause and breathe this in. The announcement has gone forth. You passed. The weight of silence is breaking. The hidden season is over, and heaven's voice declares that your unveiling has begun. From this moment forward, walk with courage. Do not let fear steal what was purchased for you in fire. The same God who stood with your ancestors now stands with you. Steady, unshakable, unchanging. This is the hour to step boldly, to shine without apology, and to carry your crown with humility and strength. The curtain has lifted now. Walk into the light. Chosen one. The tests you endured were not random interruptions to your life. They were divine examinations, silent trials designed to prove the depth of your faith and the strength of your obedience. While others may have seen only failure or delay, heaven was recording victory after victory. Every tear shed in secret became evidence. Every prayer whispered in weariness was counted. You were not wandering aimlessly, you were walking through a proving ground. And the verdict is clear. You passed. Think of how many times you wanted to let go. Nights when the silence seemed unbearable. Mornings when the weight on your shoulders felt too heavy to carry. You questioned if you had missed the way, if you had taken a wrong turn, if perhaps you were forgotten altogether. Yet, even in those questions, you continued. That is what set you apart. Your perseverance in the shadows became your crown in the light. The trials you faced were like a furnace, and you were the gold placed in the fire. The flames did not consume you, they purified you. What was unnecessary burned away. What was fragile melted off. What remained was the true essence of who you are, chosen, refined, unbreakable. And now, that refinement shines, even before you realize it fully. There was once a woman who lived through a long season of obscurity. She had dreams planted in her heart, visions she could not explain to anyone. Each year seemed to mock those dreams. Nothing shifted. Nothing changed. She was overlooked in places she expected recognition. She was rejected by people she thought would understand. Yet she remained faithful in the little, like a gardener tending barren soil, believing in the unseen. Years later, when the fruit finally came, it was sweeter than she ever imagined. And the delay itself became part of the testimony. Her endurance spoke louder than her words. This, too, is your story. You endured the waiting. You stood in the gap when others walked away. You chose to trust when doubt surrounded you like thick fog. Heaven saw it all. What others called silence, heaven called a test. And your response has written your name in a new chapter, according to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 3. The crucible for silver and the furnace for gold, but the Lord tests the heart. That test was not about breaking you, it was about proving you. The crucible reveals what cannot be seen from the outside. In the same way, your trials revealed the depth of your faith. They showed heaven and hell alike that you would not bend to the pressures of darkness. They proved that your loyalty is not for sale, Your devotion, not conditional. Your trust, not shallow. Think of the moments when rejection struck your heart. Those who misunderstood you. Those who judged you. Those who thought you would never rise. Their words stung, but their doubt became fuel. You carried a weight heavier than your shoulders were built for. Yet you kept walking. That persistence was a declaration in itself. Heaven witnessed. This one will not bow. Oh, the truth is this. You did not simply survive the tests, you were transformed by them. The person who entered the valley is not the same person who walks out today. You have strength you did not know you had. Wisdom carved by experience. And a faith anchored deeper than before. Trials tried to break you, but instead, they built you into one who can stand unshaken. Imagine a blacksmith holding a piece of iron. He places it into the fire until it glows red, then strikes it again and again with his hammer. To the iron, it may seem violent, unbearable, but to the smith, it is shaping. Each strike gives form. Each blaze strengthens until the plain iron becomes a weapon, sharpened and ready. That is what your trials have done for you. You are no longer unformed, you are forged, chosen one. You must see your past differently now. The delay was not denial. The silence was not abandonment. The struggle was not punishment. It was all preparation. Every hidden season, every moment in the wilderness, every unanswered prayer shaped you into one who cannot be shaken. When the unveiling comes, the tests are behind you. The verdict is sealed. Heaven has already declared it. You passed. And because you passed, doors that were closed will open. Chains that bound, you will break. And the future you once only imagined will begin to unfold before your eyes. You endured the silence. You endured the fire. And you emerged proven. Now, the page turns, and the story of your unveiling begins to be written in light. Chosen one. The shadows that once hid the truth can no longer disguise themselves. What once seemed powerful, intimidating, and overwhelming is being exposed. The masks of darkness are slipping away, and what remains is fragile, weak, and trembling before the light you carry. You must understand this. The very forces that tried to silence you are terrified of you. They knew who you were before you did. That is why the attacks were so fierce. The delays so long. The pressure so intense. You are not standing in confusion anymore. You are standing in clarity. The schemes of the enemy are uncovered, like walls of paint washed by rain, revealing the cracks beneath. What was once presented as strength is revealed as counterfeit. The lies that tried to cage you have no hold now. Their only weapon was deception, and deception cannot survive when truth steps in. Think of the times you felt crushed by fear. You thought the darkness was winning. But every time you chose to rise again, every time you whispered a prayer instead of surrendering, light pierced the shadows. Those small decisions, those quiet moments of resistance, were earthquakes in the spirit. The enemy wanted to see you collapse, but you refused. You chose faith over fear, even when trembling. And that choice broke chains, invisible to human eyes. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 13. Do not be afraid. Stand firm, and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. This is your truth. You no longer need to run from what once hunted you. Stand firm. The power that once intimidated you has already been stripped. The moment you see clearly, fear loses its grip. A man once told his story. He spent years believing he was cursed, that nothing good could come from his life. He lived under constant heaviness, carrying shame like a chain around his neck. But one day, light broke through. He realized that the shame was never his to carry. The lies collapsed when confronted by truth. He stood tall for the first time, free from a weight he thought permanent. That same unveiling is happening for you. Shadows thrive in secrecy, but your journey has brought you to exposure. Darkness cannot dwell where light shines. The attacks that once confused you now serve as confirmation. You are chosen because you were worth opposing. Your resilience proves it. Your survival testifies to it. And here is where you act. Right now, type "no more chains" in the comments. It is not just a phrase. It is a declaration that the weight has lifted, that the enemy's grip is broken, that you are stepping into freedom. As you write it, you are stamping the truth over your story. You are unbound, chosen one. Lift your head. Let the chains fall without fear. What once pretended to own you has no authority. You walk in clarity. You walk in strength. And you walk in freedom that cannot be taken. The shadows are unmasked, and your steps are unstoppable. Chosen one, understand this clearly. When shadows are unmasked, they lose their power. Fear only has strength in the dark. Once light exposes it, it becomes nothing more than smoke and mirrors. That is what is happening in your life now. Every lie that once bound you is being dismantled piece by piece. For years, you may have believed the whispers, "You are not enough. You will never rise. You are too broken." Those whispers were the enemy's strategy, hoping you would agree and cage yourself. But today, heaven's truth interrupts that noise. The unmasking reveals you were never too broken. You were being prepared. Look back at the moments you almost gave up, the nights you carried burdens that felt unbearable, the mornings you rose without strength but kept moving anyway. Those moments prove your resilience. They prove that you are still here, despite every attempt to silence you. That alone is testimony enough to show how much power you carry when you declare, "No more chains." You are not just speaking into air. You are testifying against every spiritual weight that tried to keep you small. You are aligning your words with heaven's decree, stamping your identity into the atmosphere, and the heavens respond to agreement. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a battlefield. Behind you are broken chains, shattered lies, and the ruins of false accusations. Before you is open ground, ready for your footsteps. The past cannot follow you anymore. The battlefield is no longer your home, it is your testimony. Chosen one, walk forward with confidence. You are no longer the person who lived hidden under lies. You are unveiled, unbound, unstoppable, and the more, chosen one. The gentle whispers you once heard in your heart are shifting. What was once faint and soft, almost like a breeze brushing against your spirit, is becoming a roar that shakes everything around you. There was a time when you doubted if those whispers were even real. You wondered if it was your imagination, if it was just your own thoughts echoing in silence. But now, the voice of heaven grows unmistakable, undeniable, and unshakable. This change is not sudden, It is the result of years of preparation. At first, God spoke to you in whispers so that you would learn to lean in, to listen closely, to sharpen your ears. Whispers teach intimacy. They teach stillness. They teach trust. You had to learn the difference between the noise of the world and the voice of the Spirit. That season trained your ears to recognize what others could not hear. Now, the same voice that whispered is roaring like thunder. It is the roar that split the skies at Sinai, the roar that shook the temple walls, the roar that silenced storms, and this roar is rising in your spirit. It tells you that this is the moment you cannot miss. The subtle guidance has become a command, not because God changed, but because your season has changed. There is a moment in every life when the inner voice becomes too loud to ignore. For years you were nudged, gently turned, softly corrected. You were guided step by step, sometimes not even realizing it. But now, you feel it in your bones. This is not a suggestion anymore. It is an awakening. The roar tells you it is time to rise. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 27, "What I tell you in the dark, speak in the daylight. What is whispered in your ear, proclaim from the rooftops." And this scripture reveals your progression. What was once whispered to you in private must now be spoken aloud. What you carried in secret must now become your proclamation. This is why the whisper has turned into a roar. It is no longer just for you. It is for the world around you. Think about the way a river begins. At its source, it is small and quiet, often hidden in mountains or under rocks, no wider than a hand. But as it flows, it gathers strength. It cuts through stone. It expands across valleys. It becomes a roaring force no one can ignore. That is what has been happening inside you. What started as a stream of whispers has grown into a river of revelation, and the sound of its rushing is about to change landscapes. There was once a young believer who lived in silence, listening but never speaking. They felt too small, too unworthy to carry the weight of what they heard from heaven. Yet the whispers never left them. In time, those whispers grew stronger, until one day they could no longer contain them. When they finally spoke, their words carried authority that shook those listening. It wasn't their voice that changed. It was heaven's roar flowing through them. So it is with you. The words rising in your spirit are not just thoughts. They are divine echoes. They carry power because they are not sourced in you. They are sourced in the one who called you. And when that roar is released, it breaks barriers, opens eyes, and awakens others. You may feel the tension between comfort and calling. Part of you remembers the safety of silence, the privacy of whispers. But the season of silence has ended. You are not meant to stay hidden in the shadows of private revelation. You are meant to step into the open, carrying the roar that others need to hear. This roar is not chaotic. It is precise, purposeful, and powerful. It does not come to destroy you. It comes to confirm you. It does not come to confuse. It comes to clarify. It calls you to stop questioning if you are ready. It calls you to realize that readiness is not about you. It is about obedience. And so, chosen one, let the roar rise. No longer doubt if you hear correctly. No longer silence the words burning in your chest. The same God who whispered to you in the dark is roaring through you in the light. What was hidden is now revealed. What was private is now public. What was faint is now thunder. This is your season to stand, not trembling in uncertainty, but steady in assurance. The whisper has become a roar, and it is calling you forward without hesitation. Chosen one, there is a crown placed upon your head, not after the battle has ended, but right in the middle of it. You may still feel the dust of conflict on your skin, the weight of wounds not yet healed, the tension of enemies still circling. And yet, heaven does not wait for the war to end before calling you victorious. You are crowned in the chaos, anointed in the storm, honored even as the fight continues. Your identity is not determined by your surroundings, but by the one who calls you. Crowns are not fragile decorations. They are forged in fire. A crown is not given to the one who hides, but to the one who endures. You have endured. You have stood when it would have been easier to fall. You have chosen light when darkness beckoned. And so, heaven has set a crown upon your head, a crown invisible to the eyes of the world, but radiant in the realm of the Spirit. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 65, verse 11. You crown the year with your bounty, and your carts overflow with abundance. This crown signifies abundance, favor, and blessing poured over your journey. Even in the middle of trial, you wear the mark of victory. If these words are reaching you, if this message resonates in the depths of your spirit, I invite you not as an obligation, but as a free act of love to stay connected. Like, share, and subscribe. Think of it as striking a match in the dark. Every spark you release becomes part of a greater fire, a blaze that may be the very light someone else needs to see when they are on the edge of giving up. And regarding support, let me speak to your heart with honesty. This work, these messages, this stream of revelation, it is like tending a fire. A fire cannot burn without fuel. The words you hear now, poured with prayer and devotion, are sustained because of the generosity of those who choose to give. If your heart is stirred, consider donating. Think of it like filling a well in the desert. No one is forced to pour water in, yet when someone does, the entire village survives. In the same way, your gift is not demanded, it is a choice. But when freely given, it keeps the well of hope open for every weary traveler who comes after you. That is how I see your support. Not as a requirement, not as a condition for receiving these words, but as oil for the lamp, water for the well, fuel for the fire. If this light has guided you, if you believe it should keep shining for others, then consider pouring into it only as your heart is moved. When you choose to give, whether it is through sharing this message, subscribing to stay aligned, or supporting with a donation, you are saying, let this fire burn brighter. Let this lighthouse keep standing. Let these words continue to flow to those who need them most. In doing so, you are not just a receiver, you become a co-builder of hope. Your crown is not just a symbol of what you receive, it is also a reminder of what you can release. Your light is contagious. Your generosity is contagious. And every time you give, whether through engagement or sowing into this work, you are planting seeds that grow into a harvest far greater than you can see. But remember, this is never forced. A true offering is born in freedom, just as the rain falls without being commanded by the ground, so generosity flows when it is stirred by love. If you feel it, act. If not, keep walking. Because the crown you wear is not tied to what you give, it is tied to who you are. Chosen, set apart, victorious. Picture this. A single candle can light a dark room, but when others bring their candles to it, the room does not just glow, it blazes. That is the beauty of partnership. When you act, in whatever way you are led, you are adding your flame to this fire, and together, the blaze cannot be hidden. Chosen one, as you carry your crown, remember, your victory is sealed, your authority given, your light burning. And in this moment, you are invited, not commanded, to let that light extend further. However you feel led, step into it. Because when heaven crowns you in the midst of battle, it is not just for your sake, it is so that others can see and rise as well. Chosen one. There is a reason why certain numbers carry weight in the spirit. They are not random digits. They are markers, reminders, prophetic signs scattered through history and scripture to align us with divine timing. Today, a new number is set before you, not the ones you have seen before, not 72, not 999. But another key that unlocks understanding. When God moves, He often leaves a numerical signature. Think of it: 7 days of creation, 12 tribes of Israel, 40 days of testing, 70 elders, 120 in the upper room. Numbers echo-like, a rhythm, reminding us that nothing is accidental. And now, the number that rises for you is 444. Why 444? Because it is the mark of alignment, stability, and foundation. Like a house built on 4 solid corners, like 4 rivers flowing from Eden, like the 4 winds that carry God's breath across the earth. It represents heaven's structure standing firm in your life. You have walked through storms that shook your foundation. You have endured seasons that felt like earthquakes beneath your feet. Yet here you are, standing, and heaven declares that your foundation is secure. You are not built on sand, you are built on the rock. That is why the waves could not sweep you away. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Isaiah. Chapter 28, verse 16. See, I lay a stone in Zion, a tested stone, a precious cornerstone for a sure foundation. The one who relies on it will never be stricken with panic. No, chosen one. This is the revelation. You are being aligned with the cornerstone himself. What felt unstable is being corrected. What seemed fragile is being fortified. And 444 becomes the echo of heaven saying, your foundation is secure. Let me tell you a story. There was once a man who dreamed of building a home. He saved. He planned. And when he finally began, he rushed the process. He laid his foundation carelessly, eager to see walls rise quickly. At first, everything seemed fine. But when the rains came, cracks appeared. The house leaned and nearly collapsed. In sorrow, he rebuilt. This time, he took longer. He dug deeper, laid stones with precision, and poured every effort into the base. When storms returned, the house did not move. That man realized his mistake, rushing to rise without being rooted. You have not rushed. Your delays, your long nights, your painful waiting, they were not wasted. They were your foundation being dug deep. You have been carved into alignment with the cornerstone, and now your life stands unshakable. But hear me, this is not just about stability. 444 also carries the promise of multiplication. 4 corners, 4 rivers, 4 winds, each speaks of expansion. From this foundation, you will not just stand, you will grow, you will spread, you will overflow. What was hidden in the foundation is now ready to rise into visible form. Think of a tree. Before its branches stretch outward, its roots dig downward in 4 directions, anchoring it to withstand storms. That is what has been happening to you. Your roots have spread deep and wide. Now the season shifts. The branches will show what the roots have prepared. Fruit is coming. Shade is coming. Multiplication is coming. Chosen one. There is power in aligning your faith with signs heaven provides. This is why prophetic numbers are invitations, not coincidences. They call you to step in agreement, to say, I see, I understand, I align. So here is what I ask of you. As an act of faith and agreement, comment the number 444 below. It is not superstition. It is not chance. It is a declaration. When you write it, you are saying, my foundation is set. My alignment is sure. My destiny is anchored in the cornerstone. And heaven hears agreement. Heaven responds to declaration. Do not underestimate this small act. Just as the Israelites marked their doors with blood as a sign of covenant, you marking 444 becomes a sign of covenant in this moment. You are saying with your action, I belong to the unshakable kingdom. My life is built on the eternal foundation. Chosen one. See it clearly. The storms of the past did not destroy you because your foundation was not weak. It was being strengthened. And now, as 444 resounds, you rise not as one trembling on fragile ground, but as one anchored on eternal stone. The shaking may come again, but you will not fall. Others may collapse, but you will stand. Let your spirit rejoice in this. You are aligned. You are secured. You are unmovable. And the number 444 is not just a code, it is a sign of heaven's agreement over your journey. Chosen one. The journey you are on is not merely about survival, it is about inheritance. There are keys being entrusted to you. And these keys are not made of iron or gold, but of authority and revelation. Heaven places them in your hands so that doors you once thought were permanently shut will swing wide, and gates that seemed immovable will tremble at your touch. Keys represent access. They separate those who can only watch from those who can enter. You have stood outside doors for years, knocking, wondering if they would ever open. At times, you felt like an outsider in your own calling, watching others walk through while you remained waiting. But the truth is this: you were never meant to borrow someone else's key. You were being prepared to receive your own. The keys of the kingdom are not given casually. They are entrusted to those who have proven faithful with little, those who have carried the weight of hidden tests. You, chosen one, have been proven. That is why these keys are being revealed to you now. They grant you access to realms of peace, wisdom, provision, and influence that were once out of reach. It was proclaimed in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 16, verse 19. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. This is not symbolic, only it is authority in action. The words you speak, the prayers you release, the declarations you make are not empty echoes. They are transactions. When you bind, heaven binds. When you loose, heaven looses. That is the weight of the keys you now carry. Consider the story of a young man who grew up feeling powerless. Every door in his life seemed locked. Opportunities slipped past him. Voices told him he would never rise beyond his circumstances. But one day, as he leaned into prayer, he realized something had shifted. When he spoke, situations moved. When he prayed, obstacles shifted. He no longer stood outside doors. He found himself opening them with authority he never knew he had. It wasn't because the world suddenly changed. It was because heaven placed keys in his hands. Keys also symbolize trust. A master does not hand keys to anyone who wanders by. Keys are given to those who are trusted to guard, to protect, to steward. That is what heaven sees in you, trustworthiness. You are not careless with what is sacred. You are not reckless with what is holy. You have shown restraint when tempted, patience when delayed, and faith when pressed. This has marked you as one who can carry keys without wasting them. Think of a door long locked in your life. Perhaps it is the door of peace, where anxiety has tried to keep you out. Perhaps it is the door of provision, where lack has mocked your faith. Perhaps it is the door of calling, where delay has made you question if it would ever arrive. Chosen one, with these keys, you no longer stand begging. You place the key. You turn, and the door opens. Do not underestimate what this means. Access changes everything. A locked gate keeps you confined, but an open gate expands your territory. These keys expand your reach, your influence, and your authority. You will see situations bow where they once resisted. You will see chains break where they once held firm. You will see paths clear where they once tangled. Picture a royal steward in ancient times. He carried a key so large it hung across his shoulder. With it, he could open the treasuries of the palace, granting access to riches stored within. That is you now. Heaven has placed spiritual treasuries under your care. When you step into prayer, when you speak in faith, you are not knocking, you are unlocking. Chosen one, take courage in this. The keys have already been handed to you, not because of your perfection, but because of your perseverance, not because you earned them, but because you endured. You will not waste them. You will use them to bring freedom, to bring light, to bring truth. And the world around you will know that you are not merely walking, you are unlocking. These keys are more than symbols. They are living authority. Carry them with confidence. When you walk into a place, remember, doors respond to you now. Locked gates recognize your presence. The kingdom has entrusted you, and heaven waits for you to use what has been placed in your hands. Chosen one, chains have followed you for too long, invisible to the eye, yet heavy on the soul. They clinked and rattled with every step. You may not have always seen them, but you felt them, the pull of delay, the grip of fear, the cycle of sabotage that seemed to rise whenever you were on the verge of breakthrough. Those chains are not natural, they are spiritual, and they have been broken. Understand this, the enemy works not by force, but by restraint. Chains do not kill, but they restrict. They keep you moving in circles, tied to places you should have left long ago. They whisper, "Stay here. Don't move. Don't rise." But chains lose their power the moment you realize they are not permanent. Their sound may be loud, but their strength is fragile when heaven steps in. You have seen these patterns before. Opportunities that collapsed at the last moment. Relationships that drained you. Doors that closed just when they were about to open. Each was a link in a chain, designed to convince you that forward motion was impossible. Yet even when those chains tightened, your spirit longed for freedom, and heaven heard that longing. The ancient words recorded in Hosea, chapter 11, verse 4 declare, "I led them with cords of human kindness, with ties of love. To them I was like one who lifts a little child to the cheek, and I bent down to feed them." Now, this is the difference. The world bound you with chains of fear, but heaven binds you with cords of love. One restricts, the other releases. One drains, the other nourishes. And today, you walk in the reality of love's cords, not fear's chains. Picture a prisoner who lived years in a cell. The door was locked, the chains heavy, and escape seemed impossible. Yet one morning, he awoke to find the lock broken and the chains lying on the ground. The strange thing, they were never truly locked in the first place. They had been left loose, their strength exaggerated. The prisoner walks out, realizing he had been free to leave all along. That is your story. The chains you feared were more illusion than reality. There was once a woman who endured cycles of disappointment. Every time she rose, something pulled her back. It was as if an unseen tether kept her from running too far ahead. She thought she was cursed, unworthy of progress. But one day, as she prayed, she saw in her spirit hands breaking those tethers. When she stepped forward afterward, the cycle did not repeat. She realized the bondage was broken, and freedom became her new rhythm. Chosen one, do you feel it? The shift has already taken place. The heaviness you once thought normal is not part of your destiny. You were not born to drag chains behind you. You were born to walk in freedom. The delays that marked your past no longer define your present. The fear that haunted you does not own you. The sabotage that stalked your steps is silenced. Chains break in silence first, long before you see it with your eyes. The sound of snapping echoes in your spirit. That is why you may have felt a sudden lightness recently, a sudden sense that the weight you carried is gone. That is not imagination, it is heaven's confirmation. Think of iron rusting in the rain. It looks strong at first, but over time, weakness spreads through it until one strike makes it shatter. The chains around you were like that. They looked firm, but they were corroded by the prayers you prayed, the faith you held, the hope you refused to let go of. And at the appointed time, heaven struck once, and they broke. This freedom is not just about what you leave behind, it is about where you are going. The chains held you in one place, but their breaking sets you in motion. You are stepping into territory you could never touch before, speaking words you never dared to say, walking paths you once thought unreachable. Do not be surprised if people around you notice before you do. They may look at you and say, "Something is different," and they will be right. The sound of chains is no longer part of your steps. You move differently. You speak differently. You carry yourself differently. Freedom has a fragrance, and it goes before you. Chosen one. This is your truth. The chains are broken. The weight is lifted, and you are no longer defined by the struggles of your past. Walk forward with confidence. The sound of freedom now echoes louder than the memory of bondage. Chosen one. Freedom is not complete until it is declared. The chains that once bound you have been broken, but the fullness of liberty comes when you lift your voice and affirm it. Silence may have been your language in the past, but now your words must align with your new reality. When you speak truth, you seal truth. When you declare freedom, you embody freedom. Think back on the times when silence was forced upon you, when fear pressed against your chest, stealing your words, when doubt whispered, "No one will listen." Those moments shaped you, but they no longer define you. Now, heaven calls you to speak, not long speeches, not endless explanations, but short, piercing declarations that cut through the remnants of lies. The Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 13, "It is written, I believed, therefore I spoke." Since we have that spirit of faith, we also believe and therefore speak. Do you see it? Faith is not silent. Belief moves the tongue. And when your words match your faith, mountains shift, barriers fall, and freedom deepens. Imagine a soldier stepping out of a prison camp. The chains are gone. The gate is open. But unless he raises his voice to say, "I belong to freedom," his heart may still cling to captivity. That is why this moment matters. Heaven has broken the chains, but you must echo heaven's decree with your own mouth. I invite you now to take that step of declaration. Type the words, "Chains are broken," in the comments. These 3 words may seem simple, but they carry deep weight. By writing them, you are not only acknowledging what heaven has done, you are refusing to let the enemy rewrite your story. You are stamping your freedom into the atmosphere, reminding yourself and every watching spirit, my past does not own me. My pain does not define me. My life belongs to liberty. A woman once shared her story. She had lived years under the shadow of fear, feeling unworthy, ashamed, voiceless. When she finally dared to write, "Chains are broken," she felt tears pour down her face. It was as though her own declaration slammed the prison door shut behind her and opened a new path ahead. That is the strength of testimony. It is both spoken truth and spiritual weapon. Chosen one. Your freedom has been purchased, but your agreement makes it manifest. Heaven has spoken, but your voice seals it. Do not hesitate. Do not wonder if it matters. Your words matter more than you realize. This is not about performance. It is about alignment. As you declare, chains are broken, you are aligning your inner world with your outer reality. Your spirit knows you are free, and now your voice proclaims it into the atmosphere. So lift your voice, even if it feels small. Even if your hands tremble as you type, say it, declare it, seal it. For the power of freedom grows louder with every word that affirms it. Chosen one. This is your moment to speak what heaven already knows. The chains are broken. The past has no claim, and you belong to liberty. Chosen one. Let your spirit settle into this truth. Broken chains do not return. Once they have snapped, once heaven has shattered their hold, they cannot bind you again. unless you willingly step back into them. Freedom is permanent when sealed by heaven's hand. This means your tomorrow will not repeat your yesterday. The same cycles that haunted you before cannot follow you into your new season. You are not marked by endless repetition. You are marked by breakthrough. Where once there were closed doors, now there will be open gates. Where once there was fear, now there will be boldness. Remember, every declaration you make strengthens your stance. When you typed, "Chains are broken," you were not just stating a fact, you were building walls of truth around your spirit that darkness cannot penetrate. It is like pouring concrete into the foundation of a house. It solidifies your footing so no storm can shake you. Think of Israel crossing the Red Sea. Once they walked through, the waters closed behind them. Their enemies tried to follow, but the path was gone. That is your reality now. What once pursued you has been drowned. The waters have sealed your past, and the way forward is the only path that remains. So walk boldly. Walk as one who is unshackled. Walk with steps that echo strength, not hesitation. You are free, not just for yourself, but for those who will hear your story and find courage. The chains are broken, and freedom is your anthem. Chosen one, the light within you is not ordinary. It is not a flicker that disappears when winds rise. It is a fire placed by heaven itself, a flame that darkness cannot extinguish. You carry a light that not only guides your steps, but pierces through the shadows around you. This is why your journey has felt so heavy, because light disrupts what darkness wants to keep hidden from the very beginning. Heaven did not intend for your light to be contained under a covering. Your trials have pressed you, but they could not bury you. Your struggles have bruised you, but they could not break you. Every time you rose again, the flame grew stronger. Now, you are walking into a season where your light must shine openly. No weapon formed against you will prosper, and every tongue that rises against you will fall silent. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Chosen one. The world is not looking for more noise, it is looking for light. The cries of despair are everywhere. The heaviness of confusion weighs on many, and countless souls wander through nights of silence. But your light breaks that silence. Your very presence carries a glow that shifts atmospheres. Because what you hold inside is not your own, it is divine. There was once a young girl who carried a lantern through her village. Every evening, people mocked her because the lantern looked small, and its glow seemed weak. But one night, a storm struck. The winds cut through the streets, and the power went out. The entire village was swallowed in darkness. Suddenly, the same girl with the weak lantern became the guide. Families followed her glow, step by step, until they found safety. What once seemed insignificant became life-saving. That is you. What the world overlooked will become the very thing it follows. And so, let me speak to your heart gently. This light you carry, it is not meant to be hidden. It is meant to spread. But spreading light requires unity. When you choose to like, to share, and to subscribe, you are lifting your lantern high on a hilltop. It is as though you place your flame in a lighthouse tower where others, lost at sea, can finally see their way to safety. Engagement is not duty, it is the act of saying, "Let my flame guide someone else." Think of it this way. Your action becomes a torch passed from hand to hand. You may not see who receives it, but somewhere, someone wandering in despair will find their step because of the glow you helped spread. Engagement is never forced. It is participation in building a trail of fire that leads others home. And if your heart feels stirred beyond that, there is an even deeper way to let your flame contribute. Imagine a great bonfire. A single log burns for a while, but if it stands alone, the fire fades. When others bring their logs, small or large, the bonfire roars, its warmth reaching further than anyone imagined. Donations are like drops of oil poured into a lamp. One drop may seem small, but together they keep the flame burning through the longest nights. It is not an obligation, but a gift of love, a choice that whispers, "Let the fire never go out." 2. It is beautiful because no one log sustains the fire alone. Every gift, whether small or great, joins the blaze, and what was once fragile becomes unquenchable. That is what happens when you freely choose to pour into this work, not because you must, but because you want to see the fire spread to others who are still cold, still searching, still lost in their night. Chosen one, you carry light. Heaven trusts you with it. The choice of how you lift it, how you spread it, how you fool it, remains yours. There is no pressure, only invitation. There is no demand, only beauty in joining what heaven is already doing. Whether you shine by simply standing, by sharing, by connecting, or by sowing into the fire, your flame matters. And here is the truth. Flames united become unstoppable. What one lantern could not reach, 1,000 lanterns together can light across valleys, mountains, and seas. You are not alone. Others, like you, are rising, carrying their glow. Together, the world cannot stay dark. So, walk forward, torch in hand, shine boldly, shine freely, and know that your light, however small it may seem, is part of a greater blaze destined to cover the earth. Chosen one, do you sense the shift around you? It is not just what you feel inside, but what surrounds you in the unseen. There are movements in the spiritual realm that you cannot see with natural eyes, but they are real, powerful, and intentional. You are not walking alone. For heaven has dispatched help, angels on assignment, sent specifically for your journey. For many years, you may have thought you were fighting alone. You felt the pressure of battles that seemed far too heavy for your shoulders, wars that appeared far beyond your capacity. Yet if you look back carefully, you will see how many times you were rescued from situations that should have consumed you. A sudden protection, a narrow escape, a peace that made no sense. In the middle of chaos, these were not coincidences. They were glimpses of the unseen army surrounding you. We are reminded in the book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 11, "For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways." No, this verse is not poetic comfort, it is divine reality. Angels have always been present in your story. In your darkest nights, they stood guard. In your most vulnerable moments, they intervened. While you thought you were abandoned, they were holding back storms you never even saw. Picture a battlefield at dawn. Smoke rises, variously weary, and one soldier kneels, thinking he is alone. But then, the mist clears. and he sees ranks upon ranks of allies stretching across the horizon. That soldier realizes his weakness was never his end. It was the setup for revelation. This is what is happening now. Heaven is allowing you to glimpse what has been beside you all along. There was once a prophet who feared because armies had surrounded the city. His servant trembled, sure that defeat was certain. But when his eyes were opened, he saw hills full of fiery chariots, angels standing guard, outnumbering the enemy. In the same way, though you feel pressed, you are not outnumbered. The angels of the Lord encamp around those who fear him. Chosen one. Angels are not distant figures from ancient texts. They are present realities, still on assignment, still moving at heaven's command. Some are messengers, carrying instructions. Some are protectors, standing at your side. Some are warriors, pushing back forces of darkness. They do not draw attention to themselves. They reflect the authority of the one who sends them. Think of the moments you barely escaped. Danger, the car accident that almost happened but didn't, the illness that threatened but passed, the despair that almost swallowed you but lifted. Behind each moment, unseen hands were at work, not because you deserved it more than others, but because heaven decreed your destiny still stands, and nothing can cut it short. Your story has been marked by interventions that you may not have recognized. The delay that saved you, the closed door that redirected you, the sudden peace that steadied you. These were angelic fingerprints. Their presence is quiet but unshakable, ensuring you reach where heaven has ordained. And here lies a mystery. Angels do not simply guard your past, they prepare your future. They move ahead of you, clearing paths you have not yet walked, scattering enemies you have not yet seen, and making ready the places where you will stand. You think you are stepping into the unknown, but in truth, heaven has already gone ahead of you. Chosen one. You are walking with more support than you realize. If your eyes could open fully in this moment, you would see the hills around you, filled with warriors of light, standing tall, their armor blazing, their swords drawn. You are not fragile. You are not alone. You are backed by heaven's host. This knowledge should not make you arrogant. It should make you confident. Not confidence in yourself, but confidence in the one who commands these armies on your behalf. Angels do not move at your whim. They move at the word of the Lord. And his word over you is yes and amen. His decree is protection. His command is life. So when you step into your tomorrow, do not tremble. Do not fear the opposition. Do not shrink from the unknown. The ground is guarded. The air is covered. The path is secured. What you face is not greater than what surrounds you. Chosen one. Let your heart rest. The angels are already on assignment, and they will not leave until their work is finished. You will walk into the fullness of your destiny, because heaven has decreed it, and heaven's armies are committed to it. Chosen one. You are standing at the edge of a new horizon. The battles that once drained you are behind. The chains that once held you are broken, and the light within you is now blazing brighter than ever. Yet, in this moment, heaven gives you a sign to mark transition, a number carrying prophetic weight, not the numbers you have seen before, not 72, not 999, not 444. Today, the number set before you is 111. Why 111? because it is the mark of new beginnings and alignment with divine oneness. It is the number that whispers, the season of fragments is ending, and the season of wholeness is beginning. It reminds you that you are not scattered, not forgotten, not divided. You are united with heaven's plan, aligned with heaven's timing, and moving as one with the will of God. The voice of God speaks through the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 6. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. This is the promise sealed in 111. Unity with His presence, confidence in His nearness, certainty that you will never again walk alone. Think of a field at dawn. For hours, darkness dominated, and each blade of grass seemed swallowed by shadow. But when the first rays of the sun break the horizon, the entire field becomes one with the light. The countless blades, once hidden, now glisten in perfect alignment. That is you in this moment. What felt scattered, hidden, and covered in shadow, now comes alive under one great light. There was once a young man who lived fractured, his heart torn in many directions. He tried to carry too much, giving pieces of himself away until he felt hollow. But one day, in prayer, he sensed heaven saying, I am making you whole again. From that moment, his life shifted. The scattered fragments of his soul began to heal. His purpose aligned, and his strength returned. His life became a testimony that what heaven unifies, no darkness can divide. That story mirrors your own. Chosen one. 111 is not just a number. It is a prophetic reminder that you are stepping into wholeness. It marks the moment heaven draws every loose thread of your story together. The pain that once made no sense is woven into meaning. The detours that once felt wasted are stitched into destiny. What was broken is now unified. Consider this: a house built of scattered bricks has no strength. But when those bricks are aligned, one upon another, they form walls that cannot be shaken. You, too, have been in a season where it felt like your life was scattered. Bricks, moments here, lessons there, wounds in one place, victories in another. But now heaven is building. 111 says, the walls are rising, the foundation is set, the house of your destiny stands firm. This is why heaven asks you to mark this moment, not in silence, but in agreement. Write the number 111 inches, the comments below. When you type it, you are not just writing digits, you are saying, I align, I agree, I step into oneness with God's plan for my life. It is a prophetic act of unity, a declaration that your story is no longer scattered but whole. Do not underestimate this. Just as Israel raised memorial stones to mark the places where God delivered them, you, marking this number, becomes your memorial act. It is not superstition, it is covenant. Every time you see 111, you will remember this moment, the time when heaven declared, you are no longer fragmented, you are aligned. Oh, and this alignment will carry you into places you never thought possible. Doors will open, not because of your striving, but because heaven has aligned your steps. Strength will flow, not because you forced it, but because heaven has made you whole. Relationships will shift. Opportunities will rise. Clarity will come, not as fragments, but as one complete movement in harmony with His will. Chosen one. The number 111 stands before you as a banner of promise. Step into it. Embrace it. Let it remind you that you are whole, you are aligned, and you are walking in unity with heaven's design. Write it, declare it, and let it echo in your spirit. 111. My beginning is new. My foundation is whole, and my God is with me. 111 is more than numbers on a page. It is heaven's reminder that nothing in your story is wasted. It marks a fresh start, a complete alignment, and the assurance that God Himself walks every step with you. Chosen one. You have walked through valleys and stood on mountains. You have endured the silence of hiddenness and the fire of testing. And now, as you step into a greater unveiling, heaven places something weightier upon you, a mantle of authority. This is not a decoration. It is not a garment for appearance. It is a covering that signifies responsibility, identity, and power. Throughout Scripture, mantles represented more than fabric. They carried the essence of calling. When Elijah's mantle fell upon Elisha, it was more than cloth brushing his shoulders. It was the transference of destiny. It meant that the weight of prophetic authority, the flow of divine power, and the responsibility of a greater office now rested on him. Elisha's life shifted in that moment. He could no longer live as before, for the mantle demanded action, demanded obedience, demanded courage. So it is with you. The mantle that now rests upon your shoulders is not random. It is not borrowed. It is crafted for you alone. It fits no one else, because your journey, your scars, your faith, and your obedience have shaped it to your form. Others might see you as the same, but in the Spirit, you are clothed differently now. We find in the second book of Kings, chapter 2, verse 13, Elisha then picked up Elijah's cloak that had fallen from him and went back and stood on the bank of the Jordan. And that moment marked a crossing for Elisha, not only across the river, but into destiny itself. With the mantle in hand, he struck the waters, and what once stood in his way parted before him. The mantle was not ornamental, it was instrumental. It gave him access, authority, and confirmation that his season had shifted. Chosen one. Your mantle functions the same way. It is the symbol of heaven's trust in you. It gives you access to spiritual authority you could not wield before. Where once you knocked and waited, now you open and enter. Where once you prayed with uncertainty, now you declare with confidence. This mantle signifies that you are not only chosen, you are commissioned. Think of the long seasons where you felt overlooked. You wondered why others were rising while you remained hidden. Those seasons were not punishment, they were preparation. A mantle cannot rest on weak shoulders. It cannot survive on hearts that waver. It demands endurance. And that endurance has been forged in you. That is why heaven now releases it. There is weight in this mantle, not the weight of oppression, but the weight of responsibility. When a king wears a crown, it is not only a mark of honor, but also of burden. The crown reminds him that his decisions impact a kingdom. In the same way, the mantle you carry is not simply to elevate you, it is to equip you to carry others. Those who are wandering will look to you. Those who are weary will draw strength from your words. Those who are bound will find hope through your prayers. Do not fear this responsibility. The same God who placed the mantle upon you will give you the strength to carry it. You are not expected to stand in your own power. You are expected to walk in His. This mantle is a reminder that heaven works through you, not that you must work alone. Picture a shepherd in the fields. He is overlooked, unseen, considered insignificant. Yet, one day, oil is poured on his head, and suddenly he carries the mantle of kingship. Nothing outward changes immediately. He still tends sheep, still walks fields, but in the unseen, everything has shifted. That shepherd was David. The mantle of kingship rested on him long before he sat on the throne. His identity shifted before his circumstances did. Chosen one. This is your reality. The mantle is already upon you. Even if life looks the same, you may still walk the same streets, see the same faces, face the same struggles. Yet in the unseen, heaven recognizes you differently. You are clothed in authority. You are covered in divine commissioning. This mantle will change the way you move. Doors that resisted you will now respond. Battles that seemed endless will now bow. Voices that doubted you will now watch as heaven confirms you. And most importantly, you will begin to see yourself differently, not as the one waiting for permission, but as the one carrying heaven's authority. Chosen one. Wear this mantle with courage. Do not hide it. Do not question if you deserve it. You did not earn it by perfection. You were entrusted with it because of faithfulness. Heaven has tested, refined, and confirmed you. And now, the mantle rests. Let it remind you of who you are, of what you carry, and of the destiny you can no longer deny. Chosen one. The mantle you carry is authentic, but it also comes with responsibility to discern what is true from what is false. For in every generation, there are not only real thrones and real crowns, but also false ones, imitations that lure the heart away from its true calling. These false thrones glitter with promise, but collapse when tested. They are traps set to distract the chosen from their true path. The enemy knows he cannot strip you of your identity. Instead, he offers counterfeits, crowns made of paper, thrones made of sand. They look appealing. They sound impressive, but their foundation is fragile. You may already have seen these offers in your own journey, the opportunities that required you to compromise, the paths that looked easier but felt hollow, the recognition that came with strings attached. Each one was a false throne, waiting to draw you away from your true destiny. The ancient words in the book of Haggai, chapter 2, verse 22, declare, "I will overturn royal thrones and shatter the power of the foreign kingdoms. I will overthrow chariots and their drivers. Horses and their riders will fall, each by the sword of his brother." End quote. This scripture is a reminder. No throne that stands against heaven will last. False thrones may rise for a season, but they are destined to fall. They cannot endure because they are built on pride, manipulation, or deceit. The true throne, the one God prepares, is established in righteousness, and nothing can shake it. Think of the story of Israel when they demanded a king before their time. They longed for Saul because he looked the part, tall, strong, appealing to the eye. But what appeared glorious at first was revealed to be fragile. Saul's crown was a false throne in disguise, a leadership not rooted in obedience. And when tested, it crumbled. Only David, anointed in hidden fields and refined through trials, could carry the true crown. Chosen one, you too will face the temptation of false thrones. They come as shortcuts, offering quick results without the cost of faithfulness. They whisper promises of recognition without endurance, power without integrity, influence without obedience. But the cost is always the same: compromise. A throne built on compromise will collapse under the weight of destiny. Imagine a castle built on sand. From a distance, it gleams in the sunlight, its towers reaching upward. But when the tide rises, the waves consume it, and all that remains is fragments swept away by the sea. That is the fate of false thrones. They appear stable, but the smallest shaking exposes their weakness. You were not created to sit on sandcastles. Your seat is on a throne carved from stone, unmovable, eternal. That is why heaven has allowed you to see counterfeits, to sharpen your discernment, to remind you that not all crowns are equal. The true crown is often not the most dazzling at first sight. It may be hidden, it may be costly, it might even feel delayed. But when it rests on your head, it will not fall. There was once a man offered wealth and glory in exchange for silence about truth. For a moment, the offer sparkled before him, but in his spirit, he knew if he accepted, the crown would turn to ash. He refused. The path after was harder, lonelier. But years later, his faithfulness bore fruit that far outweighed the counterfeit offer. That is the testimony of the chosen, refusing the easy throne to receive the eternal one. Chosen one. Learn this well. The test of a throne is not how it looks, but how it lasts. The test of a crown is not its shine, but its weight. Can it endure the storm? Can it remain when pressure rises? The false will always shatter. The true will always stand. Your discernment is being sharpened even now. Every counterfeit you refuse becomes a confirmation that you are destined for the authentic. Every time you say no to a glittering lie, you are saying yes to an eternal promise. Every moment you resist the shortcut, you step closer to the throne that heaven itself has prepared for you. So, do not be swayed by what sparkles. Do not be drawn by what is popular. Do not mistake imitation for inheritance. The throne, waiting for you, has been crafted in the fire of your trials, carved through the silence of your waiting, and sealed with the anointing of heaven. It will not fall. Chosen one, lift your eyes from the counterfeits. Fix them on the eternal. Your true crown is unshakable. Your true throne, unmovable. And when you take your seat, no power of darkness can overturn it. Chosen one, you are not alone. Though your path has felt narrow and often lonely, you belong to something larger, something ancient, something rising again in this generation. Heaven has always preserved a remnant, those who refuse compromise, those who endure the refining fire, those who carry light even when it costs everything. You are part of that remnant. And now the time has come for the army of chosen ones to rise together. This is not an army of swords and shields, but of voices, prayers, faith, and endurance. You were trained in silence for a reason. You carried burdens unseen so that you could walk in authority now. The rising of the remnant means you are no longer isolated. All across the earth, chosen ones like you are awakening, stepping into identity, lifting their heads, and refusing to bow to darkness, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 5. So too, at the present time, there is a remnant chosen by grace. The remnant is small compared to the multitudes, but its strength is not in numbers, it is in purity. This is the beauty of your calling. You are not meant to blend with the crowd. You are meant to carry a unique flame, and when joined with others, those flames become a blaze no darkness can withstand. Imagine a night sky scattered with single stars. Each one burns quietly, faithfully, alone, but together they paint constellations, guiding travelers for centuries. That is the remnant you, joined with others, forming a pattern heaven designed long ago, a map of light leading generations forward. This is where I want to pause with you. If these words stir your spirit, if you feel the recognition that you are part of this remnant, let me gently invite you, when you choose to like, to share, and to subscribe, you are not simply clicking buttons, you are joining stars into a constellation. You are saying, "Let my light connect with theirs," so that together we form a map for the lost to follow. Your action is not small, it is sacred. Every share is like passing a torch into another's hand. Every subscription is like planting a flag on the battlefield, saying, "I stand with the remnant." Every like is like striking a match in the dark, letting heaven know this flame still burns. These acts are not duty, they are signals, sparks of unity, weaving you into something greater than yourself. And if your heart is moved further still, there is a deeper invitation. Think of the remnant as a great temple under construction. Each stone must be carried, each beam lifted, each wall built with care. Donations are not payment. They are stones laid into that temple. They are free offerings, shaped by love, placed into the structure so that others may find shelter within its walls. No one stone builds the temple. No one gift sustains the work. But together, as each person brings what they are moved to give, the walls rise higher. What seemed impossible becomes visible. Your support, however small or large, is a stone of remembrance, a declaration that you believe this fire must keep burning. This message must keep flowing. This remnant must keep rising. Remember, this is never forced. True giving cannot be demanded. Just as rain falls because the clouds are heavy, generosity flows when the heart is full. If you feel it, let it pour. If not, walk freely, knowing the crown on your head is not tied to what you give, but to who you are, chosen one. The remnant army is rising. Every like, every share, every comment, every gift becomes part of this rising, a collective voice, a shared flame, a wall of light standing against the night. When you comment, let it be your banner raised. Write the words, "I rise with the remnant." Your comment is not just text, it is a flag on the battlefield. When you write it, you are adding your voice to a chorus that will echo across nations, not because you must, but because you choose to let your light be seen. Picture this, a field of dry grass. One spark alone may fade in the wind, but many sparks together create a wildfire that no darkness can stop. That is the remnant. That is you. When you join your flame to others, together. The blaze is unstoppable. So, chosen one, lift your head, wear your crown with courage, step into your place in this rising army, and if your heart stirs to act, whether by sharing your flame, aligning your voice, or sowing into the fire, do it as an offering of beauty, not obligation. For in doing so, you join heaven's great story, the rise of the remnant. Chosen one, as the mantle rests on your shoulders and the remnant rises around you, a solemn moment arrives, the final commissioning. Heaven does not leave its chosen ones without direction. It equips, instructs, and then releases. The commissioning is both an end and a beginning, an end to the hidden season and a beginning of public emergence. Commissioning is not a ceremony performed by men, but a decree spoken by heaven. It is the moment when silence gives way to sound. When obscurity yields to visibility, you have been hidden, trained, and refined long enough. Now heaven's voice calls, step forward, for the time of concealment has ended. The word of God declares in the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 6, be strong and courageous, because you will lead these people to inherit the land I swore to their ancestors. This verse was spoken to Joshua as he stood at the edge of his destiny. Moses, the great leader, was gone. The weight of a nation now rested on Joshua's shoulders. The wilderness was behind. The promise was ahead. And the moment of commissioning had come. It was not gentle encouragement. It was a command. Be strong. Be courageous. The land would not be inherited through timidity, but through bold obedience. In the same way, your commissioning carries weight. It is not a suggestion. It is not an option. It is heaven's decree over your life. Rise. Be strong. Be courageous. For there are lives tied to your obedience. What you carry is not just for you, it is for those who will walk behind you. Think of an arrow resting in the archer's hand. For a long time, it lies still, waiting, seemingly forgotten. But when the archer finally draws the bowstring, tension builds. The arrow is stretched, pulled back, tested, and then, in an instant, it is released. The arrow does not decide when it flies. The archer does. That is you. Your stretching season was heaven pulling you back, preparing to release you at the precise moment. The commissioning is the release. The flight has begun. Chosen one. The commissioning also means responsibility. Authority without assignment is wasted. But you are not called to wander aimlessly. You are given clear direction. Your voice is meant to break silence. Your steps are meant to claim ground. Your presence is meant to shift atmospheres. When you walk into places, you do not walk as an observer. You walk as a representative of heaven. There was once a young shepherd named David. He was anointed long before he wore a crown. His commissioning did not place him instantly on the throne, but it gave him identity that shaped every battle afterward. When he stood before Goliath, it was not courage alone that made him victorious. It was commissioning. He knew who he was. And more importantly, he knew who had sent him. So it will be with you. Giants will rise, but you are commissioned to face them. Walls will stand, but you are commissioned to see them fall. Rivers will block your path, but you are commissioned to cross them. The authority of your mantle is matched by the clarity of your mission. Do not shrink from this weight. Heaven did not choose you by mistake. The refining fire was not wasted. The years of waiting were not meaningless. They prepared you for this exact hour. Your commissioning means heaven has examined you, approved you, and now sends you forth. Consider the prophet Isaiah, who heard heaven's question, "Whom shall I send? And who will go for us?" His reply was simple, yet powerful. "Here am I. Send me." That is the heart of commissioning, not a perfect plan, not flawless readiness, but a willing yes. Heaven is not searching for the flawless, it is searching for the faithful. And you have proven faithful, chosen one. As you receive this commissioning, carry it with reverence. It is not light, but it is glorious. It will stretch you, but it will also fulfill you. It will demand courage, but it will also reveal destiny. When you walk from this moment, walk as one who has been released, not wandering, not hiding, but moving with divine purpose. The commissioning is final. The words have been spoken. The seal has been set. The time has come. Step boldly, for heaven has said, "Go, Embo, chosen one." Every step from here carries the weight of that go. Do not question if you are ready. The commissioning itself is proof that you are. The test is complete. The seal is set. And the assignment is clear. Walk forward as one who is sent. Not timid, not hesitant, but steady and strong. The path ahead belongs to you, chosen one. The journey has brought you here. The unveiling, the commissioning, and now the stepping into fullness. You no longer walk as one who waits, you walk as one who carries the mark of heaven openly. What was once hidden in silence is now revealed in light. The process was long. The fire was hot. The waiting was heavy. But the unveiling proves it was worth every step. This final stretch is not about proving yourself. It is about embodying what heaven has already declared. You are not striving for identity. You already have it. You are not begging for authority. It already rests upon you. You are not chasing validation. You have been sealed by heaven's approval. The unveiling is heaven's announcement to the world. This one is mine. This one is chosen. The Word of God declares in the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 35, "So do not throw away your confidence. It will be richly rewarded." Confidence is not arrogance. It is trust in what God has spoken. It is the quiet boldness that walks into rooms knowing you are sent, knowing you are sealed, knowing you are covered. Your unveiling demands this confidence not in yourself, but in the one who chose you. Think of a sculptor working with marble for months, perhaps years. The stone looks untouched, covered in dust, its beauty hidden inside. The sculptor strikes, chisels, and shapes. But to an outside eye, it seems like destruction. Only when the last fragments fall away does the statue emerge. Radiant, complete, undeniable. That is your story. The unveiling reveals what was always inside, hidden until the right moment. Chosen one. Your unveiling is not about spectacle. It is about purpose. The world does not need another performance. It needs authenticity. And authenticity is what you carry. Your scars are not shame, they are testimony. Your endurance is not weakness, it is strength. Your story is not random, it is revelation. When you walk unveiled, you walk as living proof of what heaven can do through one life fully surrendered. There was once a man who lived years in silence, convinced his voice had no place. He carried wisdom, but buried it, fearing rejection. Yet when his moment came, when heaven unveiled him, his voice was no longer timid. Every word carried weight, because it was forged in hiddenness. The unveiling did not create his voice, it released it. So it will be with you. Do not be surprised when people who once overlooked you begin to notice. Do not be shaken when those who doubted now stand amazed. This is not about their opinion, it is about heaven's timing. When God unveils, no one can deny. The same ones who questioned will witness, and the same ones who dismissed will testify. Your unveiling will also bring responsibility. Visibility always attracts pressure. But remember, the mantle is upon you. The commissioning has sealed you, and the remnant surrounds you. You are not stepping into exposure alone. You are stepping with heaven's host, with divine covering, with spiritual strength that has been tested and proven. Chosen one, lift your head. You are not the same as when this journey began. You are unveiled, and your steps will no longer be hidden. You will carry light into places where shadows ruled. You will carry truth into spaces where lies thrived. You will carry freedom into lives still bound. This is the purpose of your unveiling, not to shine for yourself, but to shine so that others may find their way. The unveiling does not mean the end of struggle, but it means the end of hiding. You will face battles still, but you will face them as one revealed, one covered, one confident in the call. And through every battle, your unveiling will testify, the chosen cannot be silenced. The chosen cannot be hidden. The chosen cannot be denied. Chosen one. The final word is this: step into the light. Do not look back at the shadows that once held you. Do not cling to the chains that once bound you. Do not bow to the fear that once silenced you. The unveiling has come. The time is now. Walk unveiled, crowned, commissioned, and unstoppable. Chosen one. The unveiling is not a fleeting moment. It is a lifelong reality. Each step you take now carries the fragrance of destiny fulfilled. Do not shrink back into silence. Walk as one whose story was written in fire and sealed in glory. Your light has been entrusted to you for such a time as this. Carry it boldly, humbly, and faithfully, knowing heaven watches and the earth awaits your flame. Chosen one, you have reached the conclusion of this message, but not the conclusion of your story. What has been spoken into your life is not simply inspiration, it is destiny revealed, identity affirmed, and calling confirmed. You are unveiled, and the world will see the light you carry. And now, if this word has stirred something within you, let me invite you with no pressure, only freedom to let your response become part of the flame. When you choose to like, to share, and to subscribe, you are not simply interacting, you are planting seeds in a field. Each seed might look small, but together they become a harvest of light. Or imagine it as lifting a lantern onto a lighthouse tower. Suddenly, sailors lost at sea can see the coast. This is the power of your simple act. It becomes a beacon. When you comment, it is more than words on a screen. Think of it as raising a banner on the battlefield, a signal that says, "I am still standing." Or see it as carving your testimony into stone along a pilgrim's path. Others who walk this way tomorrow will read it and take courage. Your comment is not just personal, it is generational. And if your heart is moved to go even further, there is a sacred way to do so. Donations are not obligations, they are gifts of oil poured into a lamp. One drop alone flickers, but when many drops flow together, the flame never dies. Or see it as placing stones into a bridge across a river. Every gift, small or large, becomes part of the crossing that allows others to reach hope safely. This is the beauty of giving freely. It extends the path for others. Chosen one. However you respond, whether through a simple click, a heartfelt word, or a gift of love, know this: you are joining a rising constellation of chosen ones across the earth. And together, the light cannot be hidden. The fire cannot be quenched. The story cannot be silenced.